Blue pride, Hugh. Thanks.
Blue pride. Congressman, do you think that there is a single Democrat, not named Joe Biden, who could fill the Covelli Centre like President Trump will fill it on Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm sure Barack Obama probably could, but that probably would be it at this point.
Well, what does that say about, and by the way, do you think those people who will turn out to be, to see President Trump on Tuesday also voted for Tim Ryan? You think there are a lot of Trump-Ryan voters out there?
Well, Hillary got about 51% in my district, and I did in the 60s, I think the mid 60s this time. So there was I think a 15, 16, 17 point delta between the Hillary voter and the Tim Ryan voter, and those were Trump and Tim Ryan voters. So there's no question about it. A lot of working class people who just feel the Democrats aren't quite connecting to them.
And that is who interests me the most. Who are those people, and why does your party seem to have such contempt for them?
Oh, I don't think there's contempt for them. I just think we have gone down this road of what I call the over-consultification of the political process, this micro-targeting of voters where there's no broad, aspirational economic message. And so we got in the habit of talking to, Latinos about immigration, and African Americans about voting rights, and women about choice. And once you go down that road, then you're splintered. And what you need in order to win, and I think the one thing Trump did well, is to have a big, broad, bold economic message. He was talking about $1 billion or $1 trillion infrastructure bill, expanding health care through Medicare and Medicaid, bringing costs down for people. The problem, Hugh, is he hasn't delivered on any of those things, and he's actually moving in the other direction. So that's the real problem with Trump. He got the marketing piece right, and he's not doing anything policy-wise to help them. That's why he's coming back to get on the marketing tour again in Youngstown and get the rhetoric going. But we need some action here. We need some help.
Let's stick with your party for a second, Congressman Ryan. Joe Crowley is the chair of the House Democratic Caucus. This week he got asked, what's the core message? And he said, quote, that's being worked on. It's July, Congressman Ryan. When's it going to come out?
Well, there's a lot of us, we have a core message. It's wages, it's jobs, it's growth. It's not having a party that's hostile to growth in business. Because we need those people to make investments and hire our people. It's about lowering health care costs. The bottom line about the new Democratic Party, in my mind, Hugh, is that we're about putting money in the pockets of people, whether it's increasing their wages or lowering their health care costs or lowering their energy costs. We're about putting money in pockets of average people. And I've been working the district now the last few days, back recently, and that's all people want. They just want a shot. They want a job. They want a good job. And sometimes, and this is a criticism that I have, that we get too focused on the minimum wage. We're all for an increase in the minimum wage, but that's not the aspiration of the Democratic Party. The aspiration of our party is for working class people to make 25 or 30 bucks an hour, have a solid pension and affordable health care, and enough quality of life, enough time off to have a little fun, to make sure you get to your kid's soccer match or baseball game. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, that needs to be a part of our agenda, too.
How many people are walking up to you, Tim Ryan, and Niles Warren and Youngstown, talking to you about Russia? What percentage are saying, hey, Congressman, I'm really into that Russia thing?
I spent the entire day here yesterday, Hugh, in Youngstown, Akron, Barberton, not one person. And so I think the Russia issue is very, very important. This is not to diminish the issue. The two committees in the House and the Senate, both head up by Republicans, and Mueller's investigation is critically important and central to our democratic process. There's no question about it. But we need to focus on jobs, economy, health care, because back in places like Youngstown and Barberton and Akron, Ohio, people are talking about jobs, wages, and growth.
Let me ask you about the leadership of your party. Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders. These are not spry, young, new faces on the stage out there. When do you turn the page, Congressman Ryan? I've heard you say you're not interested in challenging Nancy Pelosi again, but it looks to me like your party is just got to turn a page to a new generation of leadership. You agree with that?
I don't think there's any question. And you know, I'm still being very vocal. I'm still traveling. I'm still going on TV. I'm personally trying to go to places that Democrats haven't gone in a long, long time. I'm going to be in Kentucky. I'm going to be in Mississippi. I'm going to be in Alabama. I was down in South Carolina. So I'm one younger member trying to go to these places to reconnect with our party. But we've got young stars like, you know, Hakeem Jeffries and Seth Moulton and Joe Kennedy. We've got some real young stars coming up, and they're starting to get more and more profile. And so we're starting to turn the page. But, you know, Hugh, you're a Cleveland Browns fan. These transitions take some time.
I hope the Democrats' transition takes as long as the Browns, Tim Ryan. Let me ask you about